Hey, are you a Wordle fan like me? Well, guess what? In today's video, I've got 5 practicing strategies inspired by Wordle. You ready for this? It's violin time. Hey, I'm Lynn. I'm the founder of Violin with Dr. Lynn. Today we're going to be talking about practicing strategies that are inspired by the game Wordle. If you're not playing Wordle already, where have you been? It's an amazing game that is all about 5-letter words. And I have come up with some practicing strategies that have been inspired by playing this game. Wordle practicing strategy number 1. Do you have an opening strategy? So when you play the game of Wordle, you have to strategize consonants, vowels. How are you going to use your best first try to get the correct word in the least amount of tries? Well, similarly, when I practice, I think about what am I going to accomplish in that practice session. Hey, time is limited. What are you going to do? So I think about what am I strategically going to focus on? Is it intonation for that practice session? Is it going to be rhythm? Is it just learning the notes? Or is it trying to figure out a technical solution? Before you start practicing, make sure you have a strategy. Actually, what I do is I take out my practice notebook. This is my practice journal. It can be very old school. Sometimes I have a spreadsheet that I use, and actually I'll put a link there. That spreadsheet that I use is inside of my audition preparation package. And I use it when I prepare for big recitals or auditions, and I plot out all of my repertoire, and then I strategize my practice session. So here's a peek inside my practice journal. I tick off what I'm going to do. I write it down, and I give myself check marks to know that I'm on the right path. Practice strategy number 2, inspired by Wordle. You only have 6 tries. Use your time wisely. On the Wordle grid, you only have 6 tries to get the correct word. I think of my practice session as similarly, where I'm thinking, I only have a limited amount of time. I got to use this time wisely. So what am I going to tackle? When you make your move on the Wordle grid, have you really thought through what your strategy is? Are you using your letters and consonants wisely? And similarly, when I practice, I think, how am I going to use these next 20 minutes wisely? How can I make my practice session efficient? If I only have 6 segments of time, or I'm working on 6 pieces, how am I going to make sure I progress in each of these 6 pieces? So when I practice, I use my practice journal, and I also decide what I'm going to achieve. This helps my practice session become super laser focused, so that I know that I'm using my time wisely, or my 6 tries, or my 6 practice segments. And yes, I do split up my practice segments into 10-minute segments, 5-minute segments, 20-minute segments, and I turn on a timer. Practicing strategy number 3, inspired by Wordle. Pay attention to the clues that you are given. When I'm playing Wordle, sometimes when I'm tired, I don't actually take notice about the yellow squares and the green squares and the gray squares. And sometimes I actually make really silly mistakes. Do you do that too? I'm wondering if you do the same. Sometimes when I'm not paying attention, I make these silly mistakes. And in the practice room, it's the same. When I'm a little tired, or I'm not attentive, I'm not paying attention, or I'm not focused, I make silly mistakes because I'm not paying attention to the clues. What do I mean by clues? When I'm practicing, I am not, let's say, listening to my intonation, and I let those slip. And therefore, when I get to a performance, those slips and those mistakes will show up in my performance. Have I not noticed any poor rhythm mistakes? These are clues that we can actually pay attention to when we practice. You can catch these when you record. Do you actually record? I do so using my Tonal Energy app, and it has a recording function. If you don't know this app, it's great. So paying attention to clues can be really easily monitored if you start recording, and you hit this recording button here. So that's another great way of paying attention to clues. Pay attention to the clues that you are given when you are practicing, and you will progress a lot faster. Practicing strategy number 4, inspired by Wordle. Turn on hard mode and up your game. So when you're playing Wordle, did you know that there's a hard mode? You can actually turn this mode on. It prevents you from repeating letters, that are used in the incorrect spots, and it will make sure that you are not able to repeat letters and place them randomly. What does this mean when we practice? How am I going to apply hard mode when I practice? What I mean is, when you are picking up your instrument, are you challenging yourself to play the best performance that you can possibly do? Yes, I know practicing is meant to be a little sandbox and play box where you can actually fiddle around, haha, pun intended, and make a lot of mistakes and explorations. Yes, you need time for creativity, you need time for experimentation, absolutely. But when you turn hard mode on, it challenges you to perform. What if you turned on your recording device and made it difficult for yourself? Challenge yourself to play it the best you can. I dare not say perfectly, because there is no such thing as perfect, but try to play your absolute best. This is something that I do not see myself and my students do enough. Challenging myself to play so that someone is listening and I'm putting on the hard mode. Actually, what I now do is I get up in the morning without warming up and play through my piece with the recording device playing. And that's my hard mode. That's my challenging mode. All right, before I get to the last tip, inspired by Wordle, be sure to download my Practice Like a Ninja guide, which I'm linking in the description box for you below. And I also have a practice techniques course inside of my Violin Ninja course bundle. Have a look at it. It's down in the description box below. I give you all the secrets of metronome strategies, mindset strategies, and how to achieve an excellent practice session and get better faster. All right, check it out in the description box below. So on to practicing strategy number 5, inspired by Wordle. Know when the game is done. Tomorrow is another day. Are you like me? Because I actually stay up till midnight when the game refreshes so I can play another game. This is how much I love the game. When I finish the game that night, I'm forced to wait another 24 hours before the game is refreshed, before I can play another Wordle game. And I think this is a great tip for us as high achieving practicers. We want to get better so badly, and we doggedly pursue the passage and repeat and repeat. And there is a point in time where you can actually decide to step back and say, you know what? Tomorrow is another day. Let's hit refresh on this, and in 24 hours, I can start with a fresh brain and play a new game, or put in some more time in the practice room. So know when you've hit the wall, know when it's time to put your instrument down, and the next game will be so much better. Your brain will be so much fresher. All right, I hope you like these practicing strategies inspired by Wordle. Go ahead and let me know what you think. And actually, what is your opening word for Wordle? I'll drop mine in the comments below. Let me know, and I will see you in the next video.